Hello and welcome to our video. It's your host OT19 or Ultimate Gamer 19,000, and I'm here today to present to you all episode 3 of Random Multiclass Thursdays, The Fighter Birthed in Light. Before this video starts, if you want to see more D&D 5e or 1D&D and Baldur's Gate 3 builds, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, let's get into today's video. So to start off this build, The Fighter Born in Light is mainly a build that I noticed because in my current Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough, I'm playing a paladin not hexblade warlock, my fault, warlock multi-class that does 3 attacks but wields a sword and shield. Because I mainly find myself using a lot of like heavy weapons, two-handed great weapon master, and I was like, you know what? I want to see how powerful can I make a build that just uses a shield and typically one-handed weapon. And overall, the build's really powerful. I'm really strong. But in middle way of mid like I'm nearing the end, and when I was in the House of Hope, I realized I could use the Deva's mace as my packed weapon and be dealing 4d8 radiant damage every single swing. And then it got me thinking, okay, what class can do the most attacks pretty damn consistently, but also benefits from having two Deva maces because they can get the feats that allows them to wield both. And then I was brought to the fighter. So yeah, this build has zero multiclassing, which I know it's random multiclassing Thursdays, but you know, there's no multiclassing here. Which I mean honestly is good. Because some people don't like multiclassing. And it's nice to have builds that people that don't like multiclassing can still access. And also, this build is pretty free roaming in my personal opinion. I'm not really constricting you to many options with this build. It's more of like I'm giving you the idea how to do it, but everything else, like what type of armor, is actually up to you. But yeah, let's just get into this build. For our race, honestly, pick your favorite. Since we're not using any heavy weapons, feel free to pick Gnome for that advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. That is very powerful. Or maybe pick Tiefling if you want to get some Searing Smite and some really cool Branding Smite damage. Or maybe Gift Yankee for, Astral Knowledge. Misty Step is very nice. Or heck, pick Dragonborn if you want to. Dragonborn isn't the most powerful race, but still, honestly, pick your favorite here. You can pick Elf, whatever you feel like looks the coolest, or whatever you kind of want to play. Just pick your favorite. Now, for class, for level 1 will be Fighter 1. And the reason why we're Fighter 1 is because this is a mainly fighter build. For your skill proficiencies, again, pick your favorite. For stats, because here's the thing, I'll get into stats right about now. When it comes to this build, the Deva's Mace is not a finesse weapon. It is a weapon that uses strength and only can be used strength. Unless you're Hexblade Warlock, all that good stuff. Not Hexblade, Warlock. So, mainly, with this, one of the main disadvantages of the Deva Mace is that it doesn't have any plus to hits. Now, there are ways, cough, cough, to benefit that, but in general, with this build, I kind of want to have the highest possible strength modifier I can at a current time. So, when I play this build, because I actually do plan on using this build, it seems pretty fun, I most likely will be using elixirs of Hill Giant or even elixirs of Cloud Giant strength later on, so then my Davis Mace can have the highest chance of hit while I'm wailing on my enemies. Now, I know some people don't like using those elixirs because they much rather use an elixir of Bloodlust, and yeah, honestly, the elixir of Bloodlust is very OP, and I do have a version of this build that uses the elixir of Bloodlust but still dumps strength. So, just check out the end of the video for that. But you will lose out on like a tiny bit of DPS. But overall, and also I just kind of like building characters that can just dump strength and have a good constitution, good wisdom, good charisma, good dexterity. Because if we're being honest, a frontline character, or at least your main character, probably should have like a really good balance of that. So personally, I'll be building this character. But once I'm allowed to like respect and start taking the elixirs and all of that, I most likely will probably be a 17 constitution, 16 dexterity, and then a 12, yeah, 16 dexterity, a 12 wisdom, and a 12 charisma. Now you can make that charisma plus 1 or that wisdom be a 13. One of those can be a 13. Honestly, do whatever you want. I don't really have any like stuff. And also if cause well we'll get into that. A little nearly jumped over myself. But yeah, those are kind of the stat spreads. But yeah, now let's get into like the main fighter features. Fighter level 1, we get second win, which allows us to once per short rest use our bonus action to regain a D10 plus our fighter levels and hit points. This feature is actually going to be pretty good because we will be taking mainly fighter. Well, I recommend taking at least 11 levels of fighter. That last level, honestly, do whatever you want with it. Now for fighting styles, since this build gets Deva Mace at level 11, which is pretty which is pretty damn late at least, because the way to get this is with the planar ally Deva. There's actually a little trick where if you go to click on his inventory, then click like a reveal button, if you're quick enough, you can actually press the his mace and drag into your inventory, but you have to be quick with it. Or there's a thing if you like if he gets arrested and then like you kill him, I don't know, something like that. It's something weird. But for this build, since I is in Act like 3, because let's be honest, by Act 3 is when you're gonna be level 11. No sooner, no later, because there is no word later. So honestly, for most of this build's history, you won't be really using it. But so that basically means, honestly, from here on out, do whatever other fighter build you kind of want to do. Now. Don't worry, don't click off this video yet. I will be providing you a like dual wielding based fighter build. But if you want to use a great weapon master, an archery, a dueling build, by all means, do that while you wait until level 11. This build doesn't, kind of its main idea. It's kind of like its main, like kind of when like it crescendos, I guess, is at level 11 when it gets all the cool stuff. But before then, honestly, kind of pick whatever fighting style you want. Now, if you want to, pick two weapon fighting and follow the rest of this video, because I will be providing you a build. I'm not just gonna skip to level 11. But yeah, overall, it isn't. I'm not really too constricting on it. But for this build, we'll be taking two weapon fighting. By level 11, I would recommend respecing. So if you're not gonna follow this whole build guide, you will have to respec later on. So keep that in mind. But yeah, at level 1, we'll be taking two weapon fighting. Now at level 2, we gain action surge, which is part of one of the main reasons why I chose fighter and not like the paladin warlock 3 attacks. Main one of the main reasons is right straight up. This is pretty strong. Just being able to do an additional 3 attacks at level 11, all that are dealing an additional 48 radiant damage, is super nice and extremely broken to boot. Yeah, now at level 3, we gain a subclass. And honestly, again, pick your favorite. I'm not really constricting you on what type of subclass to pick here, because this build doesn't require a subclass. If you want to, pick Eldritch Knight. If you want to, Battlemaster. Heck, pick Champion. And Champion sucks. In addition, just pick whatever you like, pick whatever you think's cool. The Eldritch Knight provides some cool utility in spell casting. And I mean, hey, being able to get Enlarge Reduce at level 7 is pretty damn nice. I mean, you can, yeah, at level 8, being able to get Enlarge Reduce that you can cast on yourself, and you'll have a good Constitution modifier. So, or even a magic weapon to boost up the benefits of your um, not far your Davis mace and take a magic weapon. Also, I mean, yeah, was it war magic, being able to cast a cantrip then use your weapon attack can be nice if you want to like throw a fireball or something like that. Also, Eldritch Strike can be decently useful, and also, I mean, being able to cast Shield is, well, oh, it's like non situationally useful. It's very OP, like especially for fighter, because this fighter will have a pretty high armor class. But yeah, if you want to take Eldritch Knight, but if you want like flat DPS, and I think for this mock example, I probably will just take Battlemaster here. Battlemaster Fighter, if you don't know, basically gives you superiority dice, 4 of them, which you can waste. Now, they do regain back on a short rest, so this character, again, is really hungry for short rest. So, bards, this character loves bards. So, I think definitely Battlemaster is a good choice. Champion can also work if you're doing more of like a crit fishy build, which I mean, if you take half orc with champion, there definitely is a build there. but I don't really like crit fishing build. But if you're interested, or if you guys are interested, maybe leave that down below, and I can start to work on that. If you guys want to next Thursday, whenever I do a next Baldur's Gate 3 video. But yeah, for your maneuvers, disarming attack, riposte, and trip attack, probably the best. Riposte actually is really nice because you want to basically use the Deva Mace, make so many attacks with it that it just makes Great Weapon Master look pitiful in comparison. So I definitely do recommend picking up something like riposte because you want to be using your reaction to do significantly powerful damage. So yeah, that's at level 3. Now, at level 4, we gain a feat, and for our first feat here, I think without surprise, we'll be taking Dual Wielder. The Dual Wielder feat is a pretty nice one. It allows us to dual wield weapons that aren't considered light, meaning at level 11, or the level we currently are, we're at level 4, I guess, we're able to wield 2 maces. Because maces don't have the light property, but they're also one-handed weapons, meaning we can be wielding 2 of them. So now we can, which is extremely nice, allowing us, using our action and bonus action, to do 48 radiant damage at higher levels. 88 actually. Now, if you're wondering, okay, well, I'm not level 11 yet. What do I use this on? You could use this combo with the Blood of Lathander, which can be gotten in Act 1, and the Far Louvre, which is also gotten in Act 1. These both are versatile. Well, one of them's one-handed, the other one's versatile, but they both can be wielded in one hand, and also are just genuinely good weapons. Blood of Lathander gives you a +3 to hit, making you hit pretty often. Also, you're allowed to cast Sunbeam, which can do some pretty good damage. And also Far Louvre allowing you to use its melody, to use your shriek ability, just so that you can even benefit more from that and just do a lot of damage. And hey, if you have a monk in your party, then having that shriek up will really, and I mean really, they really will help them out with their damage, which we all know that the monks definitely need and aren't very powerful. Now, level 5, we gain extra attack, which is useful for, when you're doing extra attacks. Especially with this build, especially if you're using Far Louvre, having extra attack just makes your Shriek ability so much more powerful. Now at level 6, we gain an additional feat here, and in my personal opinion, we'll be taking good old Sentinel. Sentinel, again, it's a way to weaponize a weaponize a reaction. It basically means when an opponent hits your ally, you basically can use your reaction to make an attack against them. And if you guys do not notice, when you're dual wielding weapons, if you make an attack with one weapon, you'll make attack with both. Meaning that if you use Sentinel, you'll be hitting them with Blood of Lathander and Far Louvre, which can do some pretty considerable damage. Especially if you have Shriek up, then they are gonna regret hitting your enemies. And also, if you hit a creature in an opportunity attack, they can no longer move for the rest of the turn, and you gain advantage on opportunity attacks. This basically allows you to be a pretty decent battlefield controller, which, I mean, fighters usually aren't really good at that, but now they can be if you do want to. But at level 7, the Eldritch Knights get their War Magic feature, champions get Remarkable Athlete and Remarkable Athlete proficiency. Um, eh, jump is, I use jump pretty often with strength-based characters, but when I'm using elixirs of Hill Giant or even Cloud Giant strength, I never really feel myself like I need more jump distance. But it's there, don't throw it away. War Magic isn't a situational ability, but I mean, at level 8, being able to cast Enlarge Reduce on yourself does give you an additional D4 amount of damage, so it is nice. But I mean, adding your proficiency bonus to what is it called, to initiative, is pretty nice. But with the Battle Master, you do gain 2 additional maneuvers, so I'll just go over that real quick. I probably would uh I probably would do so 2 additional ones. I think menacing attack definitely is a good one that you may see that you can use it good, and also goading attack. I mean, having goading just basically makes everyone want to attack you. Now this does make Sentinel a little worse, but I mean you do have riposte, so you still be able to weaponize that bonus action. But if you want to, you could use distracting strike to try to distract your opponent. That could also be nice. Maybe if you have a rogue in your party, just being able them to get some quick advantage is pretty damn nice. Now at level 8 we gain an additional feat and we'll be taking Savage Attacker. Savage Attacker basically makes when we roll a melee weapon, we can reroll all damage dice and we take whatever's the highest. Meaning when we're rolling like 8d8 damage dice in one attack, we're doing a lot. We're going to be re-rolling that, allowing us to take the highest possible amount. Now, when I say 8d8, I mean when you're attacking with your action and bonus action simultaneously, but which I know not every attack you'll be able to do that, but in general, if you count it up, in a turn, you're able to do a extra crap ton of damage. It's like impressive. You're able to do 16d8 amount of radiant damage in one turn once you reach level 11, which is beyond insane, especially when the Deva Mace is something you can get decently easily. I mean, it's literally once you reach level 11, um, you cast Planar Ally Deva, and then boom. And also, oh, big tip. Oh my gosh, yo, I'm so happy I remember this. In Act 3, there is a bug where when you recruit Minsk, I'm pretty sure he starts off at level 12 and doesn't go back. Meaning, you can get a level 12 Minsk as soon as you basically enter Act 3. Now, it is a quest you have to do, but the quest is not hard. You're not fighting Raphael by all means. You're literally just rescuing Minsk. You kill some of the cultists of the Absolute, and then boom, he's a level 12 character you have in your party. So you can be like a level 9 or level 10 character, and as soon as you enter Act 3, boom, you have your Davis Mace. Just spec Minsk into a cleric and just have him cast Planar Ally, and then take a long rest, have him cast it again, or use any of the abilities that allow you to free cast spells, or that amulet that allows you to regain a spell slot, whatever you want to do, and then boom, you have two David Maces at the beginning of Act 3 just by rescuing Minsk. And also rescuing Minsk is a quest you can literally find a guide for in like 5 minutes. Oh damn, I closed it by accident, and I found that guide in like 5 minutes. It's a pretty easy quest. So yeah, as soon as you enter Act 3, which by level 9, I feel like most people usually enter Act 3. By level 9 or 10 is when people start to enter Act 3. So yeah, at level 9, you gain Indomitable. Basically allows you to reroll a saving throw once per long rest. It's alright, it's there. Like, But at level 10, we do gain some nice subclass features. Your Battle Master, your combat die, your what is it called? Your maneuver dice? Your superiority dice, my bad, changes to a d10, extra damage, and you learn 2 more maneuvers. Honestly, none of these are really that good, so pick your favorite. For Eldritch Knight, you get Eldritch Strike and learn some new spells, and for Champion, you gain an additional fighting style. I probably would recommend just taking Defense. And at level 11, you get improved extra attack, allowing you to make 3 attacks with 1 action, allowing you to per turn do 16d8 amount of radiant damage. Which, oh my gosh, that is pretty damn dumb if you ask me. Wow, that's a lot of damage. And at level 12, finally, we gain 1 additional feat. And here, pick your favorite. There's not really many. I'm like, oh, you have to get this or you're building. No, honestly, just pick your favorite. You could take tough if you want to. You know, when you're using tough and riposte with you will be a frontline attacker. So use tough if you want to. I mean, take heavy heavy armor master. I think that's heavy. Yeah, I mean, you can increase your strength score by 1, which I is pretty useless, but like it decreases 3 when you're wearing heavy armor. Make sure to drink water or take lucky. You go to always. You could take lucky. You could take Mage Slayer if you really just hate mages. Take Mage Slayer. Um, or I guess if you want to attack with your spellcasting modifier, take Magic Initiative Druid, and you take Shillelagh. I don't honestly just pick your favorite here. There's nothing I really like recommend or I'm like kind of forcing you to do. So yeah, that's kind of your whole character's leveling scheme. Now for some of the items you'll probably be using or kind of that you should be using. First of all, Far, Louvre, Blood of Dan, I've already covered them. Both really good. Both can be got in Act 1. And now, here's how I'm going to address one of the main weapons with one of the main problems with the Davis Mace. The Davis Mace kind of doesn't have any plus to hit. I would pull it up, but I closed it by accident. The Davis Mace doesn't have any plus to hit. But if you use Draconic Elemental Weapon, which is gotten if you use the Draco Glaive, which can be twinned. So if you have a sorcerer in your camp that can twin um, this Draconic Elemental Weapon, you can actually make both of your maces have a +1 to hit and do an additional d4 of acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder of your choice. Meaning that those David maces now are +1s instead of +0s, which is pretty nice. And next, we have the Flawed Helldust Gloves and the Helldust Gloves. These just give you an additional d6 fire damage when you hit with your maces. This is more if you just want to add on damage on top of everything. But in Act 3, it is possible to get some gauntlets or gloves that gives you a +2 to hit. Now, I didn't pull it up because I forgot about them. But if you want to, I think they're sold by Damon. In Act 3, you could also use those, and those gives you a +2 to hit. So that kind of just even more makes your Dave of Maces just so much better. But again, it's not necessary. But if you want to use the elixirs of bloodlust instead of the cloud and hill giant strength, then in Act 3, in the House of Hope, you can get the gauntlets of hill giant strength, which basically just set your strength score automatically to 23. Now, again, this is lower than what cloud giant strength can do to you, but again, you don't have to drink elixirs, it frees up your elixir spot, but your plus to hit or your damage will be lower because you won't be using the Helldust gloves or any of the flawed Helldust gloves. So overall, again, it's kind of up to you. But if you really just don't want to use Elixirs of Hill Giant Strength, but still want to dump your strength, eventually you can kind of just forget about that and just use the Gauntlets of Hill Giant Strength with your Elixirs of Bloodlust. Your damage probably like, because it's also, I mean, your damage probably will be like around the same, maybe a little higher with the Elixir Bloodlust combo, but your to hit ratio will be lower. So overall, I think this really doesn't matter. This build's still going to be amazingly powerful, no matter how you build it. But yeah, that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, that's all from your boy, OT19, signing out. Peace.